I was just 11 years old, a peculiar incident unfolded that left me haunted to this day. It was a dark and stormy night, and I found myself alone at home. The rain battered against the windows, creating an eerie symphony that matched the unease I felt deep within. In the midst of the solitude, the shrill ring of the telephone pierced through the silence. I hesitated for a moment, contemplating whether to answer. With a trembling hand, I picked up the receiver and brought it to my ear, my heart pounding with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. To my surprise, a deep, authoritative voice greeted me from the other end. It was the local sheriff's office. The officer informed me that they had just received a dropped 911 call from my house landline and wanted to ensure my safety. Confusion swept over me as I assured them that I was indeed alone and had not made any emergency calls. As I hung up the phone, a chilling realization settled within me. If I hadn't made the call, who had? The silence of the house took on an ominous quality, and the flickering lights seemed to cast elongated shadows that danced eerily on the walls. My young mind couldn't comprehend the inexplicable nature of the situation. I mustered the courage to investigate further, my small feet carrying me through the dimly lit hallways. Each step echoed in the emptiness, amplifying the weight of uncertainty. I questioned whether someone had been inside the house without my knowledge, playing a twisted game. Days turned into nights, and the incident lingered in the depths of my mind. The walls seemed to hold secrets, and I could never quite shake off the unease that had settled within me. I found myself constantly glancing over my shoulder, expecting an unseen presence to reveal itself. With time, I embarked on a quest to uncover the truth. I delved into the history of my home, searching for any clues that could shed light on the mysterious 911 call. Local archives revealed tales of past residents and unsettling events that had transpired within these very walls. Piecing together fragments of the past, I discovered a haunting history associated with the house. Dark secrets whispered through the town's folklore, tales of tragedies and unexplained disappearances. It seemed that my home carried a malevolent presence, a lingering energy that refused to be forgotten. Armed with newfound knowledge, I confronted the lingering fear that had plagued me for years. I refused to be held captive by the mysteries of the past. In the dead of night, I stood tall, ready to confront the unseen force that had disrupted my childhood. In the final act of my personal saga, I overcame the lingering fear that had held me captive for so long. I embraced the courage within me and vowed to forge a new path, free from the haunting memories that once tormented my nights. Now, as an adult, I carry the lessons learned from that unsettling night with me. The experience taught me that there are forces beyond our understanding, that the world holds mysteries that may never be fully explained. Yet it also instilled in me the resilience to face the unknown and the strength to overcome the darkest of fears. As time passes, the memory of that chilling call fades, but its impact remains, a constant reminder of the thin veil that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The clock ticked relentlessly as I sat alone in the dimly lit room, my eyes fixed on the computer screen. It was well past midnight, and I found myself absorbed in my work, oblivious to the world outside. But fate had a chilling surprise in store for me, lurking just beyond my awareness. As the night wore on, a sudden alert from my security camera shattered the silence. My heart skipped a beat as I shifted my gaze towards the notification. Motion detected. Trembling slightly, I opened the live feed, my eyes widening in disbelief at what unfolded before me. There, captured in the lens of the camera, was the visage of a stranger. Their face was illuminated by the soft glow of the moon, their eyes locked on my apartment window. Panic coursed through my veins as I realized the gravity of the situation. How long had they been watching me? What did they want? Instinctively, I shut down my computer, plunging the room into darkness. My racing mind urged me to take cover, to seek safety in the shadows. The bathroom seemed like the only refuge, the only place where I could collect my thoughts and assess the threat that loomed just outside my sanctuary. With each step towards the bathroom, the silence grew more suffocating, broken only by the pounding of my heart. My trembling hand reached for the doorknob, and I entered, locking the door behind me. A flickering bulb cast eerie shadows, heightening the sense of foreboding that enveloped me. Time seemed to stretch as I stood there, listening intently for any signs of intrusion. The minutes turned into an eternity, my mind racing with fear and uncertainty. Every creak and whisper amplified my paranoia, fueling my imagination with terrifying possibilities. As the minutes turned to hours, I finally dared to peek out from the bathroom, my senses on high alert. But to my horror, the intruder was nowhere to be seen. The stillness of the night seemed to mock me, leaving me trapped in a maze of unanswered questions. Was it a malicious prankster, or something far more sinister? My mind reeled with countless scenarios, each more terrifying than the last. The weight of the unknown pressed upon me, threatening to consume my sanity. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone and dialed the number of the local authorities. Their reassuring voice on the other end offered a glimmer of hope, promising that help was on its way. But as I waited, the darkness outside seemed to seep into my very being, suffusing me with a paralyzing dread. Minutes turned to hours, and the night slowly receded, replaced by the tentative rays of dawn. The arrival of the police brought a semblance of security, but the haunting memory of that night remained etched in my mind forever. I may never know the true identity of the person who violated the sanctity of my home that fateful night. But what I do know is that in the shadows, there exists an unspeakable terror, a reminder that safety is merely an illusion. From that day forward, I never worked late into the night again. The fear had etched itself into my very core, a constant reminder of the fragility of my sense of security. The darkness had claimed a piece of my innocence, leaving me forever changed. And now, as the night falls once more, I find solace in the company of others, the warmth of their presence shielding me from the ever-looming threat that lurks beyond my doorstep. The haunting memory of that night serves as a chilling reminder to never underestimate the darkness that dwells within the human soul.